Most men don't become weak because they fall in love. They become weak because they slowly forget who they were before love. In the beginning, love feels powerful. It gives a man purpose, excitement, motivation. He starts thinking about her every second. He checks his phone more, sleeps less, overthinks more, and without realizing it, he slowly stops focusing on himself. The gym becomes less important. His goals become blurry. His confidence depends on her attention. And the scariest part, most men don't even notice it happening. Because when a man becomes emotionally attached too fast, he starts giving away his power without realizing it. This video is not about hating love. It's about understanding why so many men lose themselves the moment they fall too deeply for someone. Point 1. Men start seeking validation. A man is strongest when his happiness comes from within. But the moment he starts depending on one person for emotional peace, everything changes. At first, it looks innocent. He waits for her texts. He gets excited when she replies fast. He feels anxious when she becomes cold. Slowly, her attention becomes his emotional fuel. And this is where weakness begins. Because once a man starts needing validation from someone else, he stops acting naturally. He overthinks every message. He becomes afraid of saying the wrong thing. He starts chasing reassurance instead of respecting himself. And women can feel this energy instantly. The more emotionally dependent a man becomes, the less attractive he appears. Because confidence is attractive, neediness is not. A lot of men destroy themselves trying to hold on to someone who was never meant to complete them. They stop focusing on their purpose. Their ambition fades. Their emotions control them. And suddenly, the relationship that once made them feel alive becomes the reason they feel mentally exhausted. Real love should add peace to your life, not take away your identity. A strong man doesn't beg for attention. He knows his value, even when someone pulls away. Because the moment your self-worth depends on another person, you give them control over your emotions. And that's exactly how many men lose themselves after falling in love. Point 2. Men sacrifice their purpose for love. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is abandoning their mission. Before love, a man is focused. He has goals, dreams, discipline, a vision for his future. But after becoming emotionally attached, many men slowly place the relationship above everything else. They cancel plans, ignore their goals, stop improving themselves, and without realizing it, they start building their entire life around one person. This is dangerous, because purpose is what gives a man strength. The moment he loses direction, he becomes emotionally unstable. A man without purpose becomes easier to manipulate, easier to break, and easier to replace. And ironically, the more he sacrifices himself for love, the less respected he becomes. Because attraction grows when both people have their own identity, not when one person loses themselves trying to keep the other happy. Many men think, if I give her all my time, she'll love me more. But real attraction doesn't work like that. People value what has purpose, what has discipline, what has standards. The strongest men in relationships are not cold-hearted. They simply refuse to abandon themselves for temporary emotions. They love deeply, but they never stop building their future. Because at the end of the day, if a man loses his purpose trying to keep someone else, he eventually loses both, and that pain changes him forever. Point 3. Men become too available. One of the fastest ways a man loses his value in a relationship is by becoming too available. At the beginning, most women are attracted to a man because he has his own life. He's busy, focused, emotionally stable, hard to fully figure out. But after falling deeply in love, many men slowly change. They start replying instantly, always waiting, always available, always ready to sacrifice their own priorities. And without realizing it, they remove all mystery from themselves. The relationship slowly becomes predictable, and this is where emotional imbalance begins. Because when one person starts giving 100% attention every second, the other person naturally starts pulling away. Not always because they stop caring, but because human psychology values space, uncertainty, and emotional balance. A man who is constantly available often stops looking confident. Instead, he starts looking emotionally dependent. He checks if she viewed his story. He overanalyzes dry texts. His mood changes based on her attention. And eventually, he loses emotional control over himself. The painful truth is this: many men confuse obsession with love. Real love is calm. It's stable. It doesn't destroy your peace. A strong man can love someone deeply without making them the center of his entire world. Because the moment your entire happiness depends on one person, you start living in fear of losing them. And fear changes how a man behaves. It makes him needy, insecure, emotionally weak. That's why the strongest men are not the ones who chase endlessly. They are the ones who maintain their self-respect, their purpose, and their emotional control, even when they are deeply in love.